So, you have a talent, and maybe you don't have time to listen to me talk to you about this. So, just skip to this point in the video if you want to hear the summary of this topic of me just rambling on about talents and some other things. And here you go. You have a talent. That was a bad moment for the echoey part of the recording because I still don't know how to use a computer, apparently. Because using computers is not my talent. At least, I don't know. Do I have a talent? I don't know what it is, but I'm going to try to convince you that you have a talent. So thus, I think that since I am technically listening to what I'm saying, then I have a talent, but who's gonna know what that talent is, and what are you going to do with it? So I have made this example, I have used this example before, and just imagine that you're going to a book club, and in that book club you don't know anyone else who is in that room. You don't know them at all. And before you start talking about the book or even deciding what book you're going to talk about and, well, also you're going to read, you have to introduce yourselves to each other. And that's kind of hard because what are you going to say if your primary trait is reading? You're not going to say that you like to read, obviously. But what would you say? And if everyone else in the group also defined themselves in that they like to read, would it be a good idea or a bad idea to say that you like to read? Because it's just sort of, yes, obviously you like to read. Now tell us something interesting. But what is this other interesting thing? If you only have one main thing, maybe you like to read, but then you're also a librarian with a gift for... You're not a librarian, maybe a librarian, or like someone who has a gift for categorization and loves spending your time at libraries. That would be interesting. But speaking of this gift, who gave it to you is not the important question, and is also not that interesting of a discussion. What is more interesting is that you have this gift, you have this talent, and, well, I am talking, but I don't really know what I'm going to say, so my talent would just be rambling with some things that could be profound, even though, just like that one idea, if you put 1,000 things, I forgot what, if you put 1,000 sentient physical beings in front of 1,000 typewriters, like one per each typewriter, you will eventually get something great. That's how it is with me, I would say, because, what are you supposed to say, but you're just trying to figure out, you need to say something, or you don't even need to say something, but you want to say something, but what are the best words to use? Well, there are 4 good words, but they would mainly be the beginning of the monologue, which would be that you have a talent, and what you do with that talent is your choice, and, well, it would not be good for anyone if you chose to ignore this gift that you have and gone and done something else, something that you are not supposed to do, and something that you have no aptitude for. As the word talent can be defined as being a natural aptitude or skill, you could say that everyone has some natural skill. Some people are better at other things than other people naturally. This is by virtue of genetics or any other physical qualities or mental or whatever. But what would be the most interesting would be that you use your talent for something that is useful, if not to the world and to yourself, but you have to make it be useful to yourself before you try to impact anyone else. This goes the same with just being optimistic and generally happy. If you're a person who's trying to be happy and trying to be optimistic, then you recognize that the world around you does not help you be this happy and this optimistic as you might want to be. But what are you going to do about this? If you're not going to be that happy about things, then you're going to try, if you want to. You're going to try to be happy. You're going to try to see the good, see the brightness, the optimism, dark things can be good too, I guess, if you find joy in the unknown. Like if you want to go into a cave that doesn't have any lights, that might be good, because you're being, you're spelunking, or whatever that word is. Well, what was I going to talk about? Oh yes, talents. Because when I was trying to figure out what good words for talents were, or like good ways to draw that you have a talent, I just saw a lot of posters for TV shows, and I don't know much about TV shows, but I imagine that these TV shows are competitive shows that have people judge or not comprehend, people who try to figure out who has the best talent of similar talents. If you're going to have, let's say, singing, because that seems to be one that is very impactful now. Let's say you could sing, and then you were surrounded by 100 other people who could sing. First, you're going to want to figure out where people come from, but then who is the best singer? And if that doesn't matter, then, well, who's going to be your leader? Because apparently we now live in William Golding's version of the world, in which everyone is evil, and then there's only 11-year-old boys on an island, and half of them are from a choir. Anyway, if they ended up killing pigs, they didn't really do much with their singing abilities. Anyway, what you're going to do is you're going to have to recognize, one, that you and most people around you in the situation have that talent, and then you could, instead of competing against each other, as what I imagine these TV shows do, make people do, you could try to make each other better. You could try to figure out who is the best at doing things, and try to figure out what is the easiest, not the easiest, what is the best way to make everyone else better. Because there could always be room for improvement, yes. And if you think about it too much, one would say that something one person does is never good, because it could always be better, which is not a good way to think. And if a person has gone through, and if a person goes through life with this mindset, they might end up just talking to a microphone at night with a video of drawings played at 500% of a poster that says you have a talent. But that person, or maybe you, will have to work on this, because in this world where things don't really make sense, and in a world where everyone just seems to be competing, and bad news and negativity keeps being the most prevalent in our society, and by our society I of course mean the United States of America society, because that's the only one I quite know about. I know some of other parts of America, but not really much other societies, because I haven't been a part of them. Anyway, in these societies, people, let's give a hypothetical society where there's one person with one talent, and there are enough people in this community to have every single talent. But then you have another person come in, and they have a talent just like one other person, and then it's very similar to another person, and then you end up having competitions. But no one is trying to figure out how to make everyone else better. They're just trying to see who is the best and then go on with that. So instead of just trying to figure out who is the best and just trying to make things happen, just trying without what if you're just you need to try to build each other up, because if you are all the same, you are obviously in some way similar to being around each other, then you can figure out how to make everyone else happier, how to see the world better, and try to figure out if everyone else's talents are equally right, if everyone else's talents could be maybe used, let's say in the mind of, I think it's Avatar, you have two people with very much like magical talents, like materializing, like manipulating the materials of their world. You have the people who can control fire, and people who control just earth and dirt. They work together to make the whole world have some sort of industrialization. But if that had not happened, it would have taken far longer for anyone to figure out, hey, what if we work together? And what if we try to improve each other and not try to figure out who is the best? But then it's fun to figure out who is the best in some of these things. Also, I don't know what's happening with this video. It seems to be quite off in a few places. Yeah, I don't... But you may never find out what your talent is, or you might already know what your talent is, but it will be okay, because you will continue to live through this one life, maybe just one, that's a matter of debate, in this life of which you have at this moment in time. Time is just a construct, but who cares? This is for something that's trying to do something. Come on. And so, just the point of this is that most people have talents, and well, I want to say that all people have talents, and you person have talent. Maybe you're not a person, maybe people are listening to this in the far, far future when we've found when we've found beings that are not human and they, for some reason, watch YouTube videos. Just kidding. The internet will be gone by then and will be replaced by something else. Anyway, well, probably not. Anyway, I need to stop going and rambling about whatever, because there is a point to this, just like the pencils that are sharpened, they have a point, and it is that you have a talent and you have to use this talent in such a way that is doing everything twice. That's so weird. I'm sorry, you've probably already seen the end part. What? Why? Why are you doing this twice, computer? What did I do wrong? Anyway, if you have a talent, you have to first go and find people who have somewhat similar talents, and then find people who are willing to make you better, hopefully the same group of people, and then try to better yourself and make yourself happy and figure out what you want to do in your life with this talent, because you have to do something with it if you know what it is, because then how would you feel if you didn't know what your talent was? Then you would just be pining after and trying to figure out what you're supposed to do. What? This is so weird. I'm gonna have to speed it up again. And so, just use the talent that you have, not to compete with people with similar talents, but instead to just... How much time do I have left so I can continue talking? But instead, I'm gonna try to say that again. Don't use your talent to just compete against other people with similar talents for monetary gains. Even though if you want to do that, I'm not going to stop you, because your life is yours. But instead, with these people who you have found, hopefully, who have similar talents, maybe people who have completely different talents and interests and goals and backgrounds, just work together, be happy, and find out what the best way for everyone to go, what the best way to live is. Because there's no reason not to. And if everyone's trying to make themselves better, and then eventually that will branch out to making everyone around them better, then the world itself, and maybe, as I was saying before, other worlds, nope, just this one at the time of this recording, this world, world, communities, society will be all the better for people who are trying to better themselves and thus better others. And just, well, have a good day. Just try, because if you don't know what your talent is, you could figure it out eventually. It may never come. But if it does, and when it does ever come, use it to make yourself better and make everyone else better, because, well, there's no reason not to. And it would be very good. And why would you be opposed to viewing something good? Also, this has been very long, and I don't know exactly when this is going to end. So, have a good day. In summary, find out what your talent is if you can, and when you do, use it to try to make yourself better, and in extension make everyone else better, and then make your communities better, because there's no reason not to. In these competitions that we use to pit different people with similar talents against each other don't really make sense, because they don't help make the world a better place. They just help to make people feel bad about themselves, which is not something that you want to actively create. So have a good day.